exciting match. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom left position of the map. It is Red City. We have the green Protoss player from Evil Geniuses. It is HuK. And spawning in the bottom right position as the red Zerg player coming in from Millennium, it is GosWser. So, we saw a bit of HuK's PvZ earlier against HuK. He had a bit of a rough time, I would say. But you know, HuK has really been on a tear recently. It's really hard to beat HuK. He took second place in the last MLG. I mean, of course, he's the king of online tournaments. Especially since I believe right now HuK is actually HuK is actually living in America right now. So no lag issues or anything of that sort. So that's really one of those things that just makes it hard to beat him. Now GosWser, I believe, is still in Europe as far as I know. But as far as this match goes, I think I'm going to favor GosWser a little bit. He should know HuK's style better than most other Zergs. He probably plays against him a little bit more on ladder, or at least talks to him a bit more. So, HuK, I think on this map, third base is a bit of a pain to keep safe. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just went for his old faithful 2-base, perhaps something like an 8-gate play. But GosWser is actually going to go for a 15 pool. I think this is going to be... No, it's too early to be an extractor trick. GosWser is going for a pretty fast speedling timing, it looks like. Perhaps just a very fast Roach Warren. I don't know. This is interesting. I like this play. He is going to expand behind this, it looks like. The drone is going down towards the natural. But there's going to be a very fast speedling follow-up to this expansion from GosWser. So we could see something along the lines of a speedling all-in. There could be roaches. There's... The world right now is GosWser's oyster, and I like this decision a lot. Just because HuK, right, he's walling off. I guess, actually, HuK's not going for any kind of gateway-based play, which is interesting. If GosWser was watching HuK's games earlier, then he would have seen that HuK, he's not against it, not against the gateway play. But Forge is about to finish up. Should see that cannon starting off. And just a brief recap for anyone that's just started tuning in, or is not aware of what everything has been going on. So this is the losers match. GosWser fell 0-2 to MMA in the first match of the day. And in the second match, we saw HuK fall 0-2 to HuK. And we just had the winners match decided, 2-1 in favor of HuK over MMA. Very nice play by both players, in all honesty. But MMA losing that means that the winner of this match goes on to play MMA in the final match of the day. So it'll either be a Terran versus Protoss or a Terran versus Zerg again. And the loser of this match is eliminated from the RSL. So there's a little bit on the line here. You want to get into the playoffs. There's there's $9,000 up for grabs, basically, as the prize pool for this online tournament. So it's definitely nothing to scoff at. Any one of these guys, I think, at least out of this group, could have a chance at making a run towards that first place prize, $4,000. Even third place, man, just get $1,000. That's some good money right there. But GosWser does have his speed about to finish up. He is taking a second gas geyser. Interestingly enough, he's not going for any kind of aggression, and I like this. It's kind of weird. He is going to start up his lair. His speed's about to finish, but he's not making speedlings. He's still droning up. He has larva popping right now. Is he going to commit to aggression? I'm really interested to see where this larva goes. No, it's more drones. Huh. So GosWser not committing. And that's, well, I guess he's a little bit supply blocked right now, so he won't be able to make... We'll have to see when this Overlord pops what will come out. And it's drones. So GosWser is just going full economy. And with this kind of speedling play, with this lair timing, we could see something along the lines of a Nidus play. GosWser's Overlord is perfectly positioned behind the main base of HuK to make that happen. And HuK, behind what he's been doing, his expansion, he has a Stargate on the way, which won't do really too much against a kind of Roach Queen Nidus play if GosWser can get that Nidus up. But I think that's what we're going to see. So there's the Nidus network beginning. GosWser, if he gets that Nidus in here, that's pretty much going to be curtains. He doesn't have anything super powerful to deal with this. And if he doesn't scout it, he's not going to have anything like a Void Ray prepared to deal with that. So A lot of Zerglings on the field for GosWser. He's just cranking out the units now. I'm surprised there's no Roachborn. He's just going to go pure Ling to overwhelm this. And this Nidus network, well, it's 20 seconds away. There's nothing actually here to scout for HuK. He has a probe position to possibly go for some gateway aggression, but that's not going to be in time. And HuK, he's pocketing his Phoenix. He's not going to immediately try to chase down any Overlords, which means there's no way he's going to stop this Nidus Worm from starting. And, oh goodness, he has no way of scouting it. It's on the way. This Nidus Worm halfway done once this is complete. Oh goodness, is he going to load up the Queens? I'm really interested to see if he does that. No, just pumping out the Lings into that Nidus network, and here we go. Erupting inside of the main base. GosWser sprinting inside of HuK's main, getting right on top of those probes. There's barely anything to defend, just a cannon, a sentry, and a couple of Phoenix. But the Phoenix can't do anything against that Nidus Worm, and GosWser's just going to go straight for this main Nexus. He has just loading up more and more Lings, trying to rush down. He doesn't want to get hit on this ramp, but he's going to shut down the gateways. He's going to pick up the pylon. No unit production available now for HuK. All he has is this lone gateway in his main. One here. He's going to try to throw a pylon, but you actually cannot power buildings from... I don't think you can power high ground buildings from the low ground, so once this pylon dies, that's it. He won't be able to get this Void Ray out. And GosWser is just going ham inside of HuK's base. Once this pylon is done, that will be curtains for the production. All he'll be able to do is warp in one unit at a time. No Void Rays coming out. And I think GosWser may have secured himself a very early game #1 win here in this best of 3 for the losers match at RSL. And even the Phoenix are going to come up here, but there's so many Zerglings, you can't just pick these up and kill them. That'll take you 5 years. Decades and decades. And now, Hydralisk transition coming up for GosWser, getting his evolution chambers up. Now with Hydras, what is he going to be able to do? He can't kill this Nidus Worm. I guess some other shit core can. I got a little ahead of myself there. He could put his Queens inside the Nidus network and save it, but doesn't look like he wants to do that. He's going to try to add on some gateways inside his base. How do you hold this at this point? Does he have the +1 attack? Okay, he does. So he can he can two-shot the Zerglings with his Zealots. And these Lings are kind of trapped inside the main base here. But I guess this is where HuK says, I'm just going to start to slowly work on this. And these Zerglings are trapped, actually. So HuK might be able to kill these, given a long enough span of time. He could technically kill this. I think GosWser's best chance might just be to try to fight this. Or get Burrow or something. The Hydras, when are they going to be coming? He's going to lose all these Lings, which does kind of suck, actually. Yeah, now he's going to go in here. Oh, GosWser, he could try to run around or at least get on top of some of these units. Oh, HuK being a little bit brave here is going to force field all of the sentries inside, and he's going to at least kill something. He's burning the force fields to keep the sentries alive. He will try to restart the main Nexus, which is not a bad decision at all. He's going to try to pick off at least this probe. Not going to be able to get that. But I feel like a Hydralisk follow-up for GosWser is just too strong right now. He is going to get the muscular augments, and this is such a smart play. He already has the range. And what's he going to do? He's just going to come up here, kill the wall, and just punch his way through. There's not really much that HuK can do. He's going to put a pylon here that will be able to spot for another Nidus network, which is, I guess it's something. But this main Nexus being rebuilt, there's already a third base up for GosWser, and he's just pumping out Hydralisk after Hydralisk. Now we see the Millennium Zerg player making his way towards HuK's base. Holding this is going to be, well, difficult, to say the least. He's coming up. The Phoenix weren't really even able to put on any harass, so these force fields, I mean, yeah, he can force field, but what is he going to do? Stalkers don't stand up in any way, shape, or form against Hydralisks. Hydras just wreck them. And now he's going to be moving in, and maybe a couple force fields, if you can pinch them off a couple at a time, that could do it, but he will be able to pinch off a couple of these Hydras, so he's doing what he needs to do. GosWser is actually losing some of these Hydras, but he is going to be able to pick off his... Oh, the Phoenix coming from the rear are actually doing quite a bit of damage. HuK, he's doing what he can. It's going to be really rough for him to completely recover. Once all these force fields are gone, he can't really do too much to stop these Hydras with the speed upgrade. Ooh, using the time warp. Very nice touch, but he is continuing to lose these Stalkers. They don't trade super well versus the Hydras. Wow, Mike bringing that Moisture Core back. HuK, he's holding. He's doing what he can. He's staying alive for now. 15 Hydras and 10 Lings coming out, though. HuK, can he afford to continue producing units to save himself? He's only got one sentry now, and that's a single force field, which won't be enough to block any of these choke points enough to give himself that really nice engagement that he had. And I think GosWser is just going to continue to stream units across the field, continue to bring the pressure, continue to bring these attacks, and, well, it's going to be quite difficult for HuK to stop him. Now getting up 2 sentries, this will be enough to at least pinch off one more set of these units. But with the Zerglings, he can go for a flank at the same time. He has a lot of opportunities available to him. And GosWser's just droning behind us here. The Hydras have gotten in on top of this army. Guardian Shield gets activated, but will it be enough? The Zealots are starting to chew through these Hydras, but once the Zealots are gone, the Hydra's doing a nice bit of damage. The Sentry's being focused down with that Mothership Core. No more force fields. But these Zealots, now they have the charge upgrade. He's going for that additional attack upgrade. He actually has the +2 attack, and HuK, he's hanging in there, but the problem is GosWser can afford to replace these units so much. HuK, well, I guess technically he has a couple more resources than he would normally have at this point, at least left to mine out because the main base was destroyed earlier. But that's still going to be really, really tough to actually make it through this. HuK's attack upgrades are really what's holding him together. Those +2 charge lots they really dig through the Hydralisks. And I think this is where GosWser says, okay, yeah, he's actually going. GosWser's getting the roaches. This is what I was waiting for. You got to get some roaches to help tank for this, and then you get the Hydras out. Because the problem is GosWser's on 3 saturated bases. HuK, he's on 2 bases, which is actually fine versus a 3-base Zerg. But if he can't actually build this army up, relying purely on gateway units to win him these fights, the later this game goes, the less cost-effective gateway units become versus, well, really everything in the game. So we do have the Spire now starting. I think that's a great decision. Changeling's going to be able to spot this army moving out. Zealot harass towards this 3rd base. HuK's going to pick off 1 drone, maybe a 2nd drone. Nope. Charges in, but now there's a good number of Hydralisks in here, and HuK's going to change his mind about attacking. I think, he does have a crazy amount of units. I actually really want to know. How many gateways does HuK have? 8. HuK. Always with the 8 gateways. Or 8 warp gates, I guess. He loves those gateway units quite a bit. And I gotta say, with that attack upgrade that he has, it could work. I mean, I like this play. This is good. HuK is gonna try to secure a 3rd. I think that's the smartest play he can make right now. Trying to push across the field with this army is gonna be more and more difficult as time goes by. But considering all the Phoenix are dead, we could potentially see Mutalisk switch with this Spire, which I would actually really, really like to see. There's so many Zealots being built to deal with the Hydralisks, but ooh, big Zealot run by towards that 3rd base. Picks off the Queen. These Roaches trying to do what they can to stop him. The Roaches have +2 attack, but the Charge Lot's about to have that +3, and they're going to become very, very hard to deal with in just a couple seconds' time. GosWser pressing forward, though. If you can shut down this 3rd, that'd be huge. There's a lot of force fields available here. I don't know if he wants to move in against this. Force fields pitching out some of those Roaches. The Zealots are going to get killed behind this. He's moving the Roaches up towards this 3rd area, trying to give himself a bit more surface area, trying to target down the Immortal. But GosWser will not be able to pick that off. He is maxed out, though, and he just has so many units. He is trying to just use the Swarm to overwhelm his opponent with massive numbers of units. That's it. All the force fields are gone. GosWser is barreling forward towards this natural, but this Immortal is doing work. 7 kills so far, being targeted down. It will fall, and now the Hydras, the Roaches, doing so much damage to these Stalkers. He's got so much supply. HuK falling below 100 supply. He's got a Zealot run by going in here, but there's too many Roaches. He won't be able to press in here and do the damage necessary. HuK, oh man, sub 90 supply is a really tough spot to be in when your opponent's about to max out again, and really, GosWser just played this so smart. He gave himself such a big edge with that Nidus play. Almost threw it away a couple times, running into those big force-fielded choke points earlier on. But HuK has the 3rd. He's going to have a little bit more gas in the tank to try to get out these units he needs to hold off any additional pressure. But is it going to be enough? There's another big push coming in from GosWser. He does have a couple more sentries that he's warped in, but having to replace those sentries keeps him from leveling up his tech to getting more important units like Colossus. And now this Nexus is going to die. There's not really anything that HuK can do to save it. The Probe's going to try to run away. And this is actually a really tight choke point. GosWser needs to be careful. He might just assume that he can go through this thanks to his numbers. More sentries warped in. There's a couple of Lings moving through. And I like this. Taking out these destructible rocks is a very smart play from GosWser to be able to give himself a little bit more maneuverability. Can split his army up, go for a big wide arc flank attack if he wants to. And here we go. The Roaches coming in from the left side. The Lings and Hydras coming in from the right side. Is this going to be enough? A couple of force fields really starting to filter some of these Roaches out, but the Zealots actually can't. They're getting hurt by the force fields more than anything. And these Hydras coming through. It's not perfect enough to cover it all. And HuK, GG's GosWser taking game number 1 and this best of 3 for the losers match of the Russian Starleague Group Number F. Group Number F, yes, Number F. The letter F, and solid play there from both guys. I mean, HuK did everything that he could to stay in there, and I have to say that was, I didn't expect him to last that long, but he did everything humanly possible. And GosWser with a very, very cute Nidus play was able to secure that first game. So that was actually really interesting to see. A great way to use the map Red City and some of the weaknesses, I guess, that you could face on it with that much space in your main. But Well, guys, we're going to jump into game number 2 as soon as we can. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Russian Star League. I'm your caster today, Nathanias. Stay tuned.